just pulled the truck in. It looks super good. You might be wondering, what else do we need to do to this thing? Well, it's time for a sweet upgrade. Right now, this has a unknown mileage Chevy 350 that we've kind of done some cosmetic upgrades to, mainly the valve covers and the air filter. But we don't know the mileage of this thing. Previous owner said it's pretty much just lowest tier crate engine available with like an RV cam in it. I'm guessing it's probably like, I think 250 horsepower is an optimistic guess for what this engine is making. So we went a different route with the CJ, but off camera and with some other things involved, we actually pulled the motor from it. So this thing is a turnkey HO 350. It's about like 333 horsepower and close to 400 pound-feet of torque. So it's going to make this truck an absolute ripper. In the last video, we discovered that this truck has posi traction. We just finished up all 4-wheel disc brakes, so it's going to rip. But the first thing we need to do is we gotta pull this engine, and then the second phase is going to be making this thing look really pretty. So it looks a little more like that. We need to paint it up. It got accumulated some rust from sitting in the CJ, and then we'll plop this back in, and then we'll be able to get some footage of ripping this thing. She's heavy. I think we just go maximum lift.
Can you go backwards more?
We took out the 3 bolts that connect the torque converter here to the flex plate. Now, I got my trusty ratchet, and we're taking out the 4 bottom bolts I can reach that connect to the transmission from the engine. So we'll get these suckers pulled out, and then we have to go from the top to get the last 2 bolts that connect the tranny to the engine. And then I think we are getting ready to hook the chains up and pull her out. Time for the fun part, draining the coolant.
Yeah. Our engine hoist doesn't fit, so next step is take out the bumper. So some of those bolts were super bad to get out, but there goes the bumper. See how this thing looks. It's ugly.
Now we're still good.
Yeah.
It's kind of sus though.
It's going.
Dude, it's like just perfect.
Okay. Alright, so it's gonna touch the brake. So now, if we could shift this back, dang, we still can't. And drop. Oh, we can't. This one, or we lined it up.
Alright, we gotta take the hood off now.
There you go. Alright. Wait.
Alright, Daniel, can you grab the front?
There we go. Y'all got it? Okay. Alright, this is our new wall art.
Yeah, right.
It's huge. So close, dude. I don't know. It seems like it might max out.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. So now that we got the engine all cleaned up, it's time to get it painted. So we taped off everything. This engine's like 90% taped now, and we're just gonna go with a gloss black because while this engine is really nice, it was on the Jeep for a few years and it got kind of muddy and it was a little rusty and crusty. So let's get it looking brand new.
We should have done this straight when it came from Chevy Performance. So there was so much bare metal and stuff that just totally rusted out.
Alright, so that should do it for today. We got a couple coats on this thing. So we'll see you back tomorrow and we'll unmask it.
Here she is. Let's do the honors and unmask this. And then we can get her all prepped and ready to go in the truck. oil change because it's definitely easiest to do it while it's on here. We also got some of these front accessories bolted up. But pretty soon we're gonna put the plate on, hook it up, and then we'll install like our distributor and stuff. But yeah, it's looking good. All right, that is 85 foot-pounds for all of them. I also put in our dual sync MSD distributor that's supposed to go with the Hollow EFI that I just took off the truck. Got it, put it in at 50 degrees before top dead center. And this thing's ready to go. So the motor's in, we just tightened up the bolts that go from the engine to the transmission. And now I'm just putting on all the accessory drive. When Jason finishes the wiring cleanup, when he's all done with that, we'll give you all a walkthrough. But with that, we just kind of tucked everything off over to the side. So when it comes to reinstall, it's pretty much as simple as just doing something like this. Getting the alternator to fit, just like so. We're keeping the Sniper EFI sitting pretty. Yeah, go over like that. I just set up the MSD dual sync distributor with the engine at 50 degrees before top dead center. Got it pointing at the #1 spark plug. So we'll just get all these wired up. So we have everything in with the exception of like the coolant and the hood. We're just gonna do a quick test because it is really late and we just want to see if we should keep going or not, or if we'll just call it a night. So we'll see if this thing fires up. Yeah, so let's hit it.
All right.
Yeah.
I just didn't want it to like smoke up the garage.
Yeah, it started right up there. Yeah.
That's pretty easy.
Sounded good.
Yeah, let's finish it and drive it.
Yes, sir. That looks pretty good.
Good.
It's a new day. We got a little too tired yesterday. It was getting into the morning hours. But we're here and I'm really confident that it should fire up. We got the hood on, we got it full of coolant. Everything's ready to go. So we'll just start it up, we'll back her up and then let it sit and warm up for a little bit. And then let everything burn off and stuff, and then we'll take it for a test drive. All right, let it rip.
First off, it's a very similar engine. It's just kind of better, slightly better, or really better in every way. It's definitely smoother and sounds better. And especially from, low RPM, it has a lot more performance.
once you're kind of like on the highway or like in third gear, you can't tell as much. But like when you're in first gear and you give it some gas, you can tell. Like it's very obvious that this thing has more power. Definitely faster at high RPMs.
Alright, merge time. Let's see how she does on the highway.
Yep. Pretty effortless so far. We're already going 70.
See if the hubcaps stay on.
Oh, I hope so. They're pretty on there. Right now we're going 75 easy.
1 RPM.
2,200.
It's better than before.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing we did is that the wires that were here, we had a bunch of fuses just hanging out and the wires were going everywhere. We had 11 positives all going to one point before. So what I did is I got this fuse box, so we have, you know, all 4 of our fuses for the air ride, the radio, and the headlights. Those are all in here. And then, you know, these were already here from the previous owners. And then we didn't really have anything lying around the garage, so I made this kind of all positive 11 wire bus bar. So we have 14 wires going to this, and then we still have 3 on the positive. But it looks a lot better, and hopefully this shouldn't give us any problems. We can always update it or upgrade it later, but for now it should be good.
Thank you guys for watching. It does really well. It looks sick, it drives sick. We do have some orange valve covers on the way. They're the taller ones too. They should look really sick. Although I have no problem with the chrome. It looks a little vintage and stuff, but I really like the tall orange valve covers on the other engine. So we'll get that installed. If we do get those, I'll just insert a B-roll clip of those on there. So those will look sick. That'll be the final look of this thing. But yeah, real pretty. Nothing too serious, just kind of a crate 350, but it gets it down the road real nice. It spins the tires, it sounds good, and because we do most of our driving on the highway, we're really lucky that we're still at like 2,200 RPMs going at 70, and it downshifts and pulls hard when you want to pass somebody. So that's really good. But anyway, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.